Hello friends, it's Adrian, and today I'm going to be doing a rather belated March wrap-up and April TBR. I intend to talk about the 4 books that I read in March, the books that I'm currently reading, and the books that I plan to read in April and / have already read. So in March, I firstly picked up Mom and Me and Mom by Maya Angelou. This is one of her memoirs that specifically talks about the role and the influence that her mother had to play in her life. I really enjoyed this book. It was extremely heartwarming and touching. Angelou's writing is such a pleasure to read because she writes in a way that's extremely simple and eloquent, but at the same time has this air of sophistication and poignance. In short, this was my first Angelou, and it's definitely not going to be my last. Next, I read Matilda by Roald Dahl, which is a classic middle grade story about a girl who is brilliant and has telekinetic powers. This is one of those books that really inspired me to read more, so I'll definitely give Roald Dahl that. In addition to that, I just love the way he writes and tells stories and develops characters, and the illustrations by Quentin Blake are always just so cute and add such a fun dynamic to the reading experience for me. And this book quickly became one of my new favorites, so I gave it a 4.5 star rating. I also finished Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix by good old J.K. Rowling. As I've said before, this is my first time reading the Harry Potter series and I absolutely freaking love it. Every single book is just a pleasure and a joy to read, and this book was no exception to that. However, I do have to say that it was not particularly my favorite installment in the series thus far. From the beginning of this book, I felt like there was this huge domino effect going on in that one event happened and was resolved, and then another event happened and was resolved, and there was no real overarching narrative. And that's okay, I don't mind when that happens in stories, but I felt as though as if it didn't really build up to that epic ending that I was expecting. Overall, I ended up giving Order of the Phoenix a 3.75 rating, which is probably the lowest anyone could go with a Harry Potter book. I also read Mosquito Land by David Arnold, which is a young adult contemporary about a girl who runs away from her stepmother and father to go and find her mother who recently fell ill. I won't go into too much details right now because I do intend to talk about this book extensively in an upcoming book reviews video. I will say that the overall story was pretty much well executed and I enjoyed it for the most part. However, there were so many issues that I had with it that really made this book fall through the cracks for me. The writing was extremely pretentious, character development was sacrificed for the purpose of focusing on the main character who was not a nice person, and mistreatment of people with mental illnesses and people from other cultures, and I really didn't appreciate that. I'm still not 100% sure what I want to rate this book, but it seems to be falling within a 2-star realm for me right now. Now onto the books that I'm currently reading. I first have Cress by Marissa Meyer, which is the 3rd book in the Luna Chronicles. I'm about 6 chapters in and I'm enjoying it so far, which is a good sign considering that I really did not enjoy the 2nd book in this series, Scarlet. However, regardless of that, I am extremely invested in this series and Marissa Meyer is a hella good storyteller, so I'm definitely looking forward to finishing this. I'm also 120 pages into Zahra the Windseeker by Nnedi Okorafor Mbachu. I'm actually really enjoying this one so far. It's set on an alternative planet where vegetation and plant life grow rampant and humans can't do anything about it. So humans have to learn how to coexist harmoniously with nature, which I think is a good idea for Earth too. Definitely a very unique concept, so I'm looking forward to finishing it and seeing what my overall thoughts would be. On to my April TBR, I have the first 6 volumes in the Amulet series by Kazu Kibuishi. It's about a girl named Emily and her brother Navin who discover an alternative world in their basement, and they discover as well that they also have some sort of destiny to fulfill there. I already read these because, as I said, we're halfway through April. They were enthralling and amazing and addicting. I highly recommend this if you like graphic novels, but I will save my thoughts and opinions for my April wrap-up, so definitely stay tuned for that. Anyways, that's going to be it for this video. I don't plan on reading anything else in April because of the fact that finals are next week. And right now I should actually be studying for finals, but you know, academia is a bitch and I like YouTube more. Anyways, that's going to be it for this video. Definitely let me know down below if you have read any of these books and if you have any thoughts on them. Thank you all so much for watching and I will see you all again soon, inshallah.